Okay, you've gone straight up cliffs and you are spamming into choke. Fairly good idea. They're all bunched up there nicely for you to do a lot of damage. But I would have liked to see you chuck a sticky over the cliff as you went up it. You weren't doing anything, you didn't really have much to do. And it helps quite a lot of the time. It's quite rare as a demo for you to have an opportunity where you literally have nothing to do. You should always be setting a trap or throwing something in. But the crits coming in here, you've got crits as well. That was nice. And crit pipes are ridiculously fun. Did their medic go down? No. You did have a chance to kill him, and you went for the pipe instead of the sticky. And although that's kind of understandable, it's in the nicest way, normally an ego thing rather than a functionality kind of thing, in that stickies are more efficient than pipes. Obviously, to be a good demo man you have to have good pipes, but don't feel like you have to use them all the time just to prove that you're good. If you can kill the medic for crit sticky, you kill the medic for crit sticky. There, you got caught out of position a bit. They came in behind you and you could see them capping the point, but you pushed forward for some reason. You probably could have got the kill on that pyro and NG. You're quite unfortunate not to, it wasn't really your fault, but you shouldn't have really been in that situation in the first place. Okay, you died there, you did do some damage, and you dropped... Who did you drop? You dropped the scout with, I think it was a roller, it might have been a direct pipe, I might be wrong, excuse me if I am. But you shouldn't have been pressuring that far forward on your own again. That was something I noticed when I watched your Gully Wash demo. If you do have a tendency to go solo, which I know is incredibly tempting, and it is fun to be the awesome super pub demo man who just kills everything, but if there's multiple people, you will die. There you were getting a bit aggressive, especially when they were about to put crits. The medic just went down for a mini sentry. It's a nice one by Plunderbonnie, but yeah, you just have to be a little bit passive sometimes and choose when you go in, because you do a lot more good to your team if you're alive than if you're dead. But if you're getting flanked by a scout like that most of the time, this is a problem of going solo. Why not take your scout with you most of the places you go? I understand you not wanting to be a heavy medic. I don't like going as a heavy medic either. It just attracts a lot of damage to you and you tend to die because the heavy naturally takes all the heals, and you naturally get spammed down because you don't have as much health as the heavy, but he attracts all that fire for you. That was good spam there, you're doing the right thing, and that was one of the occasions where yes, it is a good idea to use pipes. Such a narrow choke point like that, you're unlucky not to get any kills, really. Narrowest of margins, really. Hopefully you just called to your team that there is a wrangled mini sentry there, wrangled sentry gun, sorry. Yeah, you got flashed briefly for crit, but you couldn't do much of it because you were about to die. Nothing wrong with your positioning or your play there. You should have been far forward because your demo and your team's just pop crits. I do wonder if your team had crits at that point, as in they pushed in with crits and it took you about 5 seconds to pop. So I assume you were probably about 90% when they popped, which means you knew they were running crits and you knew you didn't have your own crits. So I wonder why you were pushing that far forward as a team. The sensible thing to do is if you're fighting, oh, well, you're going to die here. If you're fighting crits, you really shouldn't be holding the point or holding far forward. You should have got right way back, behind the point, behind that little sign, even further back towards the large health back, and just not died, and then came with your own crits. You're on the round and you did do well. You're deaf to that heavy a minute ago. Kind of understandable, but if you'd had a scout, he could have run in front of you and saved you. You're choosing not to roll out here, which is something I talked to you about yesterday on Steam chat, and I think is almost always a mistake. You could be at mid so much faster, and next round I will spectate their demo man to see if he's rolled out, because yes, you are more vulnerable because you're at mid on your own, but the catch to that is no one else is there apart from the enemy demo because you are so fast. I'll go over it again in a minute. What you just did there, your mistake again was getting too far forward on your own. You're just kind of asking to be killed by two people. It's not, I don't want to sound too critical because, again, I do it all the time, and most games, after getting trashed at some point, I normally have to turn to Auntie and say, I need you to come with me and babysit me. Because you're a Demoman, you can do a lot of damage, but if two people get in your face, you've got to either hit all your pipes with ridiculous Banny-like precision, or you're going to die. Again here, if that scout's just run away behind you, if he's got enough health, he should be with you. Someone should be with you. I just saw it's Rincewind, isn't it? I just saw he went down to, I assume, is that a soldier or was that an engineer that killed you both? Yeah, it was a soldier. But the second your partner went down to the shotgun, you really should have got out of there. Again, in that situation, pipes are good, but you don't have to hit every pipe, and you don't have to prove you're good with pipes. Stickies probably would have been a preferable choice there. It's more about picking your fights. If you could hit, if you knew you were going to hit one of those 4 pipes, guaranteed, then it's worth doing it. But until you get to that stage, and you do have to be fairly good to get to that stage, it's not worth it. Okay, you're pushing onto the point with the scout, but quite aggressively. Yeah, that's the right play. They're locked down. Setting out some good stickies. It's nice. Doing some area denial. That's good for your team. You got caught a little bit unawares by that Demoman there. You were taking damage, but really, either someone should have been watching that cliff, or when you started taking damage, you should have looked up and said, what the fuck is actually killing me? Saw it as a demo and got out of there. Nothing wrong with you dying once you'd seen him, because by that point it was way too late, you had no chance of getting out. But it's about making sure you're not in the situation where you can't possibly live, which is what that was. It's an STV demo, so I have no idea what the clock is, so I don't know how much is on either side, but you drop to a counter crits, you can do nothing about that. It's not your fault. Oh, and I can see the STV times. I'm just an idiot. I've just changed my HUD and it's changed it from the bottom of the top of the screen to the bottom, and it's right there, 54 seconds. So I will stop being an idiot. Yeah, that's fine. Lots of people probably would have told you to use melee there, but personally I would have used the sticky too. Good spam there, going down the choke, keeping them out. Good play. Good follow up on that Demoman, that's good. And you killed him as well, so a nice reward. You want to get a little bit back here, but you're staying alive, which is good. Hopefully your sniper knows that their sniper is on Sniper Bridge, because you were a little bit vulnerable to him there, but you can't stay inside all the time being scared of snipers. What I would have liked to see you do though, apart from not running on your own here, is when your team is in control of the point, I would have liked to see you put some sticky traps anywhere really. You probably didn't have enough control to put them in a forward position, but just on the point would have been fine. You don't have to necessarily kill anyone with them, but the fact that they're there in the first place will deter people, and I'm not entirely sure what you're doing here. You did kill the demo, which was good, but you were kind of asking to just be grouped up on by a lot of people and killed. Yeah, that was what was going to happen, because you had 54 health and you carried on being aggressive. You pretty should have gone back to the medic there. Or laid some stickies down. That is the disadvantage of piping people. Yes, it does do a lot of damage, but it makes them immediately aware you're there. You weren't going to kill the heavy with pipes. You probably weren't even going to do enough damage to him to make it back off, because he had a medic on him. So better choice really would have been put some stickies down, So he either would have had to push out and engage your team, back off, or wait a couple of seconds to actually blow the stickies off. All of which would have been fine for you. Plus it's a heavy with 450 health, so you're not going to kill it with pipes. Because that's 5 pipes, so a full clip and then one, and that's not counting for the fact that he's getting healed as well. So we're talking at least 6-7 pipes. You were never going to kill that heavy, and you were very unlikely to do so much damage to him that he was going to back off and not kill you. A little bit aggressive there, but not necessarily wrong positioning, possibly wrong action. You were trying to put out a lot of damage, which as a demo, good instinct, is what you should be doing. But put stickies on my point. It helps your team out lots more. Because I don't think, from what I can see, you have a partnership with anyone on your team in the sense that yes, you probably do a shitload of damage, and from what I've seen you do a shitload of damage, but no one cleans it up. In the sense that you might do 150 damage to that pyro, but no one else is doing that final 25%, and he's just going back and getting healed up. So we're going to pause here very quickly, and we're going to talk about rollouts. Rollouts, I can kind of see your reasoning in the sense that you don't want to die on mid, because if you're a demo, dying on mid is bad. Slightly less so in Highlander. Obviously in 6s it's pretty shitty, and you kind of gimp your team by dying quickly on mid. But unless you're really being outclassed by the enemy demo, or he's ridiculously fast, you should always be rolling out to mid, because there's not a great deal of chance that he'll kill you. If you don't feel confident on under 100 health, so 90 or so, like certain maps, to get there quick enough, you do have to be on 90 health. If you don't feel confident with that, that's totally fine. Do one jump less. Don't take all that damage. Be slightly slower. But literally, there is no reason here not to get an overheal from a medic and make a jump from outside the spawn door to whichever door you want to go to. Shaves 4 seconds off your time, makes you faster, and by the time you got to mid anyway, your overheal would have decayed. So literally no reason not to do it. Again, it's almost a preconception that you're more likely to die if you roll out for mid. Because yes, you are there quicker, which means you're able to die quicker, but the only person there is the enemy demo. So again, unless he's ridiculously good, he's not going to kill you, unless you make a really bad mistake. And yes, there is a positioning thing where lots of demos do roll out, do get aggressive, stay there and die, and yeah, I do this a lot. Because like you, I have a tendency to want to do a lot of damage because you're a demo man and that's what you like to do, and it's awesome. But you don't have to do that. A sensible play is roll out, try and put some damage on the enemy demo man, try and get him off the front lines, back to his medic, and then you come back. So find out which way your medic is rolling out. If he's going left here, for example, and coming up through choke, then get to mid quick, chuck a couple of stickies out and try and hurt the enemy demo man, or if he's a bit further away from you and you don't really have a chance to kill him, then just put some stickies out so you can control the area. Like if you put 2 stickies in their choke, they're either going to have to stop to deal with them, not be able to go through choke, or they're going to have to risk pushing their combo through it. And no one will do that. No good person will risk pushing their combo through 2 sticky traps that have been down for more than 5 seconds, because you know after 5 seconds your stickies get full damage on the ground. Before that there's a slight penalty. I believe it's 5. So yeah, get out to mid, put your stickies down. There's no disadvantage to doing it. Like literally no disadvantage at all. So I am going to turn it right down into slow-mo. In fact, I'll put it down to 0 so I can find their demo. Still stuck as you for some reason, but... Okay, so it's this one. Right, so... full. Roughly full. Yeah, see, he's jumped to the doors. He's made a quick jump here. He's probably not going to make another jump. Oh, he's going to jump to... Yeah, look how much quicker he is. He beats everyone to mid. And you see your scout can't come through any of his chokes. You can't come through any of his chokes. So he is already patrolling that battlefield. It's one of the key kind of meta game things is you have to stop that enemy demo from controlling the ground, especially in King of the Hill, where it's all about who controls the areas. King of the Hill Highlander is considerably different from King of the Hill 66 in a way that I don't think almost any other map is. In the sense that if you're playing Viaduct 66, area isn't necessarily important in the sense that it's all about taking the hill, then pulling out, then pushing back in. It's all about back and forth. In Highlander, too many people to do that. And you need successful pushes with like 4 or 5 people down to actually make it work. So once you have the area, you want to hold it for as long as physically possible, and push and put the opponent in a position where they've got to push back into you. So letting this enemy Demoman get out, and he's laid 560s before you're even at mid, which means he's already shut off 2 entrances, hasn't he? On the left hand, he's basically shut down that entire left hand side, apart from choke. So your heavy's got no choice but to come through a choke. And if he's got any sense, what he'll now do is switch to the grenade launcher and chuck 4 kills down choke, which means for a good couple of seconds, none of your team can get to the point about taking damage. So let's turn it down and go back to you. Arg is still talking to me, which is odd because Arg is not meant to be home because it is a Wednesday. Arg is never home on Wednesdays. And this is you, so let's go back. Compliments of my Bill's hat, great choice. I sadly sold mine to buy Joe Alexis' hat. So you better be grateful. Okay, so let's resume and let's go. Were you Jurassic there? You don't seem to be Jurassic. I don't know. That's odd. I don't know how you possibly could have avoided that, but apparently you did. So, okay, so you've just seen them pushing with crits. Hopefully you've said your theme, they have crits. And you'd assume they know because Martin just died. Well, that was a nice kill on the medic, and you made advantage of the fact that you were on the flank. But you were up against the entire team. You really, once you kill that medic, you should have just said, I'm getting the fuck out of there. And either run away, or if you had enough health, which I think you did, you should have just sticky jumped away to the cliffs. The impression I get, I might be completely wrong, is that you're probably not entirely confident with your sticky jumps. That was a really nice pipe on the scout, nice little prediction pipe around the corner. Good work. Running into the heavy here, I'm pretty sure you're about to die. Yeah, you're about to die. You shouldn't have got aggressive with that heavy, you ran into him. So all you effectively did, you didn't make it any easier for yourself because your stickies had a range to hit him from there. All you did was make sure his damage ramped up, and that made you take a lot of damage. And then you saw the medic and demo and went for it and went for them, but you're on 50 health or so. It was going to take 1 pipe or 1 sticky to kill you. You probably should have turned around and helped the scout with that spy there. If not because you want the scout to live, because whatever, then because the spy probably could have stabbed you. If you can get into the habit of it, I know it's hard, but if you can get into the habit of when you hit someone with a pill, I know you probably already fired about the 4th one off without actually thinking about it, because sometimes there are situations where you just want to empty your clip and hope it hits. But if you can get into the habit, quick pill, quick sticky is how you deal with 125 health classes. Good to see that you went for the air shot. That's a good sign to me. That's a sign of confidence. And you do seem to be quite confident with your fight, which is really nice to see. And from my experience, you are good with them. It's just knowing when to use your weapons. There, you got backstabbed, kind of understandably, because you will concentrate on other things. but that is the disadvantage of not having a partner. If you'd had a partner, if you'd had a scout with you, I can't count the number of times, especially on hardwood, our scout Auntie has turned around to me and said something like, Betty spy, or I've heard a scream of the spy dying behind me and he's just standing there with his scatter and he saved me. There, you pushed on your own with none of your team. Same thing, yes it is very tempting, but it's just not going to help. You will die, sadly. Once you get to a certain level, you will die. Because it's natural. You could be the best Demoman in the game, but you're still pushing him versus 6 people on your own, so you're still going to die. Like if you ever watch, I have no idea if you watch Sixes, I have no idea if you're even interested in the NA scene, but Banny, the demo for Quantic at the moment, previously EMG, generally considered to be the best demo in the game. If you ever watch how he dies, it's never in 1v1 most of the time, it's almost always because he gets bum rushed by 3 people, or a pair of scouts. So it doesn't matter how good you are, because he is ridiculous. It doesn't matter how good you are, you will die if you try and engage multiple people. There, that was good play. You went for the medic, you put a lot of damage on him. You probably were quite unlucky not to kill him. But again, if you'd had that scout with you, he could have cleaned up all your damage for you. And that medic would have been dead. Yeah, definitely encouraging to see your fight. That was nice. Managed to cut off the heavy from his medic. That's a good play. Yeah, I'm encouraged by your fight. This is probably not. I don't know. You could hold it for a minute 30. It's possible. Let's look at how it is. But what you should be doing here, all of you, is pushing forwards and holding them back, not letting them get near you. I don't see any sticky traps, and I haven't seen a sticky trap out of you this game, apart from a couple on the floor, and they're so important. Like, look, the demo's got sticky traps on that wall. You can see them. Did you get the medic? No. There's medic there? I'm sorry, I was paying attention to their sticky trap, which, to be honest, you were kind of lucky not to get deaded on you. I don't know why. I assume the reason you put it there was to stop exactly what you just managed to do to them. But yeah, in this case, you should be pushing forwards and having sticky traps down. Like you're laying one down now, which is good. Yeah, very good. I must admit, I do like to put a pair of stickies up on the cliff, only because how many times have you as a demo been killed by having people jump off the cliff and just kill you? That was a nice pick on the medic. You saw that the demo got tunnel visioned and you just went for his medic and took him, which is nice, really nice. And you're saving your team at the moment. Yeah, at the moment you are, in the nicest way, no offence to anyone else, you are carrying the team on your back because you're putting out ridiculous amounts of damage and you're exploiting the fact that they're all on the point. But this is the problem with what I was talking about earlier about forward holds. Your team was holding so far back, but when they did finally manage to push onto you and attack you, everyone was disconnected and so far back that they couldn't make a difference about it. They couldn't do anything. Oh, okay, someone crashed. But yeah, at this point, their demo was where your soldier is, and then he does another jump. So I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say he's probably a good 6 seconds quicker than you to mid. It's quite a long time, really. I have no idea how long this pause is. So what am I going to do? I'm going to look at the scoreboard, and you are second, which is great. Sorry, Ferrell wants to know if we are going to have off screen. Oh, cats. Can't type. Really can't type. Tell them sorry for the delay, because I haven't had time to ask everyone if they want to scrim Vanilla Existence yet, mainly because Vanilla Existence are a very good team, and we'll have to be quite prepared on the map if we want to have a chance. So if we have a look over the scoreboard, what's notable? You are second, which is good, and the fact that you're outscoring your medic by 7 points is pretty ridiculous. It shows that you're doing some really good work, but sadly it also probably shows that you haven't been protecting him properly. Not just you, but people in general need to protect your medic better. He shouldn't be 14 points behind the heady. As I'm sure you've also noticed, you can see from the scoreboard, that medic is pocketing that demo. That demo is their player, really. He's making it happen. So you need to be telling your team, I'm pretty sure you're the caller of your team. That was nice. I was just about to say where the fuck did that heady go. Apparently he was up behind the corner. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're the caller of your team. So you need to be calling that the demo is a high priority target. He is their pocket, really, it seems. Let's have some more look at the scoreboard. Demoly not doing very well. But he's a good player, so you have to ask yourself, does he seem to be playing badly? Is that reason he's not doing so well? If not, then there's probably a team issue that's stopping him doing well. Like in some lobbies and in some scrims I've played where we practiced with other people. I've seen some very good Demoman, better Demoman than me, end up scoring very lowly because they're not getting the right amount of support from the team. So yeah, I'm kind of mystified by that, so I'm just going to spec him for a little bit if that's alright with you. He's playing Soldier on Viaduct, so he should be roaming, really. So I'm sure Jolex will be more than happy to critique. Jolex is German, and I'll just leave it at that. So let's see what we can do. Seems pretty much be the right kind of stuff. Lack of jumps a little bit, but flanks to heavy, does what a good roamer should be doing. But yeah, I'd be expecting him to jump up and deal with that soldier. And dies to the sentry gun, probably quite unluckily. Once he'd seen it and it's in him, he wasn't going to get out alive. But how long has that been up for? And if it was up for a while, why didn't someone call it? Yeah, that is a general thing. I'm going to switch back to you once Demoly dies once more. But that is a general thing I've noticed. Neither of you seem to bomb that much. And I played Demoly in some MG last night, and he's a good jumper. So I don't understand why he wouldn't be bombing now. He's got a crit now. He gets slightly unlucky that heavy just probably as his shotgun shots up. He's probably, from the looks of it, he's not having the best day. But he's also possibly pressuring the wrong areas without much support. So let's go back to you. Here you are. Okay, so your medic's starting to, I don't want to say get his act together because he hasn't been playing badly from what I've seen at all. It looks like he's starting to get a little bit better protected because he's staying alive a lot more and able to do his job. Crit's coming in, so you need to run the fuck away. You did drop the medic, well, Demoly dropped the medic, just as I stopped specking again. But when you see a crit soldier coming like that, you probably got one sticky shot at that medic and then you have to get out of there. You should probably be firing the sticky as you backpedal out, because staying there is just asking for him to kill you. Yes, there's a small chance that you will kill the medic, and you have done it a couple of times, put a lot of damage on him, but that was less because Oh, that was a nice set of pipes there. But that was less because necessarily that sounds excessively harsh. Less because of good play on your part in the nicest way, and more because that demo got very tunnel vision with his crits. He was looking for your medic and he didn't really care about you, so he did a great job picking your medic instead. But yeah, when you see a crit coming in, you're important, you shouldn't die if you've got a chance to get out there. And when they've come in so far, they've always been very tunnel visioned with their crits. You're coming out to mid with pipes, which confuses me. Like, how long did we get into that round? We got 15 seconds into that round and you hadn't fired a single sticky, which, yeah, confuses me. Like, you shouldn't have been able to get bomb rushed by that scout. It shouldn't have been able to happen, because you should have had a sticky down to stop him approaching you. And then you can pipe, and then you can kill him. But you also stole that the teleporter from your heavy, and I of course never do that, and it's very bad. You have a it died to the heavy. I do wonder why you didn't know he was there. Just a small note, but you wonder how the slowest class in the game was able to walk down to your large health pack and no one noticed it. So either you missed the call or no one called it. Either way, it shouldn't have happened. But yeah, when you come to mid, just fire a couple of stickies out, control the ground. Stop them getting close enough for you to put out ridiculous damage. And by you, I mean either yourself, where you get bomb rushed by scouts, like you did when you died on this round, I believe, or your team. Okay, so you see the heavy, put damage on him, which is good. Is he dead? No, he's not dead. That was sensible black. That was better. That was much better. You saw the demo was there. You realised you weren't going to win 100 health, and you got out of there. And you're with your team. You're protecting your medic, and you're helping a soldier. Power damage. Much better play. Much better play. Nice little pipe as well. Yeah, very encouraging. Slightly unlucky there. Yeah, slightly unlucky there. That last pipe missed by just a little bit. But again, you can't really rush a heavy down. It's rare, but it can actually work. And again, I swear, this is all I've actually said throughout this video, but I do it all that all the time as well. But I die to heavies all the time, and I hate heavies, and heavies piss me the fuck off. But you can't solo heavies. They are too good at close range, and you are too weak at close range. And just there, where he managed to do a lot of damage to you, and then you weren't doing that much damage to him, I'm not entirely sure why you went back in and engaged him again, because it was obvious he was just going to kill you. There, you could have done with just being 5 seconds quicker with that. Those stickies, like when you're coming up cliff, when you're approaching any new open area as a Demoman, just start charging a sticky. It means that if you see anyone, you can kill them. Like you could have chucked some stickies down onto those logs by the side of the point. No one probably would have noticed. If they had done, they would have backed the fuck off the point, or they would have had to go forwards. Either way, great for you. That is kind of the golden rule of being a demo, is there are very few times when you should be doing something. You should normally either have to be reloading, or you should be spamming down chokes, or you should be putting sticky traps out. There, you knew they had crits, and you pushed in anyway. You shouldn't do that. You should not do that. Your medic should have got the fuck out of there, like, not behind the rock, as in right the way back. And yeah, you didn't die to the crits, you died to the heavy, but they were able to push onto the point and walk a heavy right up to you so he could kill you, because they had crits and they were able to push you back. Yeah, you did the right thing there. That was much better again. You put the stickies down to cut off their retreat route. And that was good. That was very good. Okay, so you know the medic's down there. Hopefully you've called it to there. You see him on his own. See him with a sniper now, so perfect. But the scout comes at the last minute to ruin it for you, as I think happens every single time. But really, if you saw that medic there, I know you want the kill, and I know it's nice to drop a medic by yourself, and I know saying medic dropped or killed the medic in Mumble or TeamSpeak, great feeling, but if you'd taken the scout with you, that medic would have died. And you probably wouldn't have died to the scout either. So sometimes it's just about not going for the big kill and taking it all. Yeah, just playing your part in the team rather than trying to carry the team all the time. Like, you did do a good job of carrying the team, although pushing on to the point. And in that situation, yes, it makes sense for you to go solo. Yes, it makes sense for you to put out as much damage as possible, because when people are trying to get on the point, like now, when people are desperate to get on that point, you're in your element. Because look how many people are on that point. You shouldn't have piped. Should have been stickies from a cliff, shouldn't have jumped down. That way you weren't vulnerable, and you could have put down a lot of damage. You can't afford to be dying as a demo man with 10 seconds left on the clock. Or a King of the Hill map. You should just be up there spamming constantly and not dying. Because people tend to get desperate when things get tight like that. And they tend to be able to put themselves in a really shitty position. So what we're going to do is we are going to watch their demo man. Here we go. And did you see what he just did? When we came onto him, he was flying through the air, which is also something I've noticed. I haven't seen you sticky jump once at all. And I have a phone call, so what was I saying? I believe I was saying, yeah, I did see you jump, ever. Which I don't know. It's hard to assess that. I know it's hard, I know you have to practice, and I know you have to spend a couple of hours on a jump map and do what he's doing right now, which is practice. But oh. About to go again, I think. Or at least one of your team's ready up from my here. Here we go, so let's watch it. But you need to jump, because you need to be able to bomb, because it is very important. Again, something you learn about, I've only recently started doing it properly. Look, he's right at mid. He beats everyone. And that scout is not coming through there. Look, he took a lot of damage, but if he's sensible, he gets out. But okay, so I can see why you're apprehensive about this going to mid if you're going to do that, because he just made a stupid mistake, which is he shut it down, that entire lane of play down, and then carried on. Fuck knows what he's doing. But the point is, he could have backed up backpedaling, firing pipes down there, and you just got a very nice crit pipe to deny him, which was very nice, I must admit. But potentially, if he played that right, you would have had an angry demo man at mid with 6 stickies before you'd done anything or even got there. And if your heavy had pushed through that gap and he baited you properly with pipes, he would have dropped your heavy and probably your combo, which is devastating. He was on 60 something health. All we had to do was backpedal, know where his medic was coming from. So if his medic was coming this way, all we had to do was backpedal and come around and meet his medic behind, get the heals. He was in very little danger of dying unless he was stupid. He was stupid, and that's why he's dead. You can see he's getting a lot more attention from the medic than you do, because he is the pocket.
Alert! The control point is being contested. Alert! The control point is being captured.
He's coming out. He's got to do about mini sentry. I have no idea what he's doing. He baits Demoman forward into a position where he can kill him, which is quite nice. Kills Goo because... okay, so now here, he's doing what you do. He's got way too aggressive on his own, and he gets cleaned up by a scout. Honestly, fuck knows what he was doing. I assumed he was quite a good Demoman because he was top, but it seems he was quite... he was top because he was getting pocketed almost constantly. Yeah, he understands the fact that sometimes you need to do jumps. Like that, he just saved his team so much time and made sure his medic wasn't under any pressure by doing the jump. I mean, there's no reason not to do that, because jumping into a medic has no downside. He's going to heal you straight back up anyway. Okay, so he's dropped Martin here. Goo has to take so much credit there. So many amazing reflex. Wow. Oh, that was just beautiful play. Let's go back to you. Okay, so you're still soloing a lot. You've met up with the medic. He's going for your... oh, that scout. This is a tricky situation. We all know it's a tricky situation. Yes, you let your medic die, but not necessarily your fault. That, however, it's easy to let your medic drop to a scout unless you have ridiculous vibes, so I can't blame you for that. But you just saw their medic, you were next to him, and you chose to fire at the heavy instead. You had no chance of killing that heavy, but you could have quite easily dropped their medic there. Just put a sticky at his feet, blown it up, hit him with a fire, he was dead. Especially at this point, you shouldn't win this round, you'd hope, being an overtime. They've got to take 2 minutes 20 back on it. But if you kill that medic, that would have been the round one here and there. Here and there, here and now. Yeah, to be honest, I'm not trying to be overly critical, but I'm looking for things to criticise, in the sense that you don't just want me to sit here for half an hour and say, oh that was nice, oh that was nice, oh that was nice. That was less nice. You had 5 health, but you ran towards the pyro. Back off and spam stickies over the rock, or just back off and get the health back. Don't go near him, because all he had to do was brush you with fire and you were dead. You probably didn't even know he was doing it. But you retake the point, which was nice. You've been slightly less effective in this round, but only by 2 points. You're 2 points off being third. So it's 3-3, so this is the decider. Let's see what their demo does, and let's see if he's going to rank it for them. Slightly unfortunate for Cliff, don't worry about it, happens to everyone. Okay, so you know that heavy's up Matt Cliff, yeah, just take him a tight angle trying to kill him, that was good. Got a little bit too close to him again, but in general, good play, really good play. Oh, you can see the medics up there as well. So what you do now is you say to your medic, overheal me, buff me to 260, and then you jump up that cliff and you take that medic. Or you at least put enough pressure on him that he has to pop. Yes, it will cost you your life, but it's very important. And now he has crits. Now, a considerable part of your team is dying of crits. You get a ridiculous crits of your own in every Demoman stream, which is just a shitload of people in one little hole. You're not getting fisted. So I'll just say you have a gaping wound and we'll leave that joke alone. Yeah, I can't really blame you for missing the crit pipes afterwards, because you just got a shitload of kills. That was a crit that was worth it anyway. And you've hit some really nice kills today, and so that crit kill earlier on their medic to stop his crits was ridiculously good. In this situation where one you just saw, A, you were too aggressive, You wandered across the point, exposing yourself to all that fire when you could have gone behind it. There is no reason not to. B, probably should have probably just put some sticky traps down. You don't need to constantly be chucking 100 damage pipes into their faces. It's not always going to work. You shouldn't die here, really. He did get the crit slash, it's kind of understandable, but he would have killed you without crits anyway. But you see how just their soldier bombing in caused you a lot of problems. But you're not doing, mate. You've got to bomb in sometimes. If you're not very good at it, and that's fair enough, practice it to get better. We'll suck at certain things. I feel pretty confident in saying that your pipe's probably better than mine most of the time. Occasionally I have a good day where I hit all of them and somehow I become a demo that actually looks good, but your pipes are pretty good. Your stickies, I don't know, because you don't really use them a lot. And I find it a little bit confusing. Like you switch back to pipes there, but they're all retreating, they're all too far for you to actually hit. Most you're ever going to do is a couple of 30s with rollers. Just putting stickies on the end of that cliff would have forced them to deal with it. You have the right idea there. You knew that the time to switch to crickies. Oh god, I can't even say it. The time to switch to stickies was to take out a mini sentry because everyone hates mini sentries. Okay, so your team is in control of the point. Minute you've got a little bit of advantage and you hold the point, you're getting so aggressive and you might die. No need to be that aggressive. Really, just sit back, control those chokes, stop people coming through them. Okay, now you just run the fuck away. Don't go back up, don't go back up. There we go. You were too low health, there's a health pack right behind you. Take the health pack and then go back up. Wait for a member of your team. You've got a minute and 30 to push back on the point. You didn't need to die there. I can see what you're trying to do, and I understand what you're trying to do, but most of the time, you're just not going to be able to do it, just by the nature of the fact that you can't win those kind of fights. You're putting yourself into the position where you can do a lot of damage, which is good, but to do so, you're putting yourself in a position where you can also take a shitload of damage. Like, it would have really helped your team if you'd dead live though. Very recap, so the first thing you should be doing now is you should be jumping over to that door, you should already be there, you should already be at mid by now. And you should be putting stickies all over that point. So they've only got 30 seconds, just hold that point for 30 seconds and move on. Look, they're disorganised, they're pushing in little clumps. You are 2 down, but it's the scout and the sniper. Now people are dropping. But you held so far back and you had no stickies at that point. If you'd A, held forwards, then they wouldn't be able to get you in that situation where you gave them high ground and you were all standing in one tiny clump. Meaning all they had to do was spam with splash and you were going to die, and you all did. And if you'd had stickies on that point, they wouldn't have been able to walk onto it. They would have spent 4 or 5 seconds taking them off. And look, you only need 6 seconds to win. You probably would have taken it down to 1 second. Like, if you retake it and lose by 2 seconds, Giraffe is a bitch, and you're now in desperation stage, so what you need to do, the second you respawn, you need to jump to doors, jump to health back, jump from health back onto the point and just lay down as much damage as possible. Don't walk. Please, for the love of God, don't walk. You're not going to make it in time. There's no use fighting that NG, he's not on the point. Yeah. I'm not saying you've lost the last point because of you, but you all put yourselves in a position where you didn't need to lose. Like you had that game won, really. You kind of almost threw it away by holding so far back. All you had to do was just chuck a couple of stickies down the point and keep your team farther forward. But that was a pretty good game to watch as well. It was tight and close. And you made some sick pipes, and you made some good decisions, and some interesting decisions. Should we call it a draw? Can't blame me for trying. And seriously, like half the time she died, you could have either prevented it by not pushing in with under a quarter health, which you did a couple of times, or just taking a scout with you. Like, look, Rincewind didn't actually do that well in this round. He would have lost very little by babysitting you. And I say babysitting because that's what you want him to do. You just want him to stay on you, stop you getting stabbed, stop people just coming up and let me use the term ganking, but you got ganked a lot. Yeah, so I'll give you 3 points to go out on. 2 criticisms, 1 good one. Criticisms, too much solo, kind of pub stuff, pushing in on your own, expecting to kill the entire thing. We miss 6 of them. They're just going to wreck you every single time. Unless they're bad and very unaware, you can't do enough damage. Now, honestly, even if you kill 2 of them and die, in lots of situations, especially King of the Hill, wasn't worth it. You being alive and them having to worry about sticky traps and sticks in the point and spam coming down chokes means so much more. Second point, jumps. You've got to roll out to mid, man. Seriously, it's so important. And even if you don't want to roll out to mid, then for the love of God, you must bowl them occasionally, especially on maps like Viaduct where it's tight and the medic is so important, especially when he's running crits. Because you can pressure that medic so much. What slightly worried me was I never saw you jump up to cliffs on their side once, so you could do a forward hold. I never saw your team do a forward hold once, which is something that I think you really should add to your game if you're going to play Viaduct. But it was more than that. I would have expected you to get buffed and to jump onto their cliffs and pressure their medic and pressure their sniper and whoever's out there a lot more, and hold them back in that kind of spawn area with stickies. Which leads on to a third point, which is more traps. More traps, seriously. On point, you're doing half the job of a Demoman very well. You're putting out a shit ton of damage, which is very important. But you don't have a partner to clean it up, and I don't know if you're either not calling your damage or people just aren't able to clean it up, which is understandable because if you push forward on your own and deal a lot of damage and don't tell anyone, then really it's your fault that people aren't in the position to clean up in the first place. If you said I'm pushing forward chasing this medic, someone come with me, or someone follow me, and then the soldier roams and comes with you, or anyone comes, even a fucking engineer can just come and shotgun them down. Like that chance you had where you saw the medic on his own, ended up getting killed by a scout. Any partner with you, but literally anyone, your medic could have come with you and finished that guy off with needles. But if you'd taken the scout, A, you would have killed that medic quick enough that you wouldn't have got flanked by that scout, their scout, and secondly, you probably wouldn't have died to him. So at the very least, that scout also would have gone down. So unless Rincewind was doing something ridiculously important at that point, and I'm not necessarily blaming him, but if you're the caller and you're the demo, sometimes you just have to say, Scout, I need you. Unless you're doing something ridiculously important to our game plan, you're going to have to be my babysitter. You're going to have to stop people coming up to me and stealing my candy. But the good point, your pipes are very nice, honestly, very nice. You've also got confidence in them to take the shots. It was nice to see you try some of their shots, because you miss, break out the old cliches, you miss 100% of the air shots you don't take, and you took them. Didn't necessarily hit with all of them, but you try, and you got some nice prediction pipes around corners, up from the cliffs. Yeah, and in that first game, in that first couple of rounds, you put out an absolute shit ton of damage. you were doing one of the more important parts of your job really, really well. Yeah, basically, you carried the team on your back for a little bit at the end of one of those rounds, and you just destroyed everyone who came near to you. And you were aggressive at just the right time to just wipe them, completely wipe them. And it was great to see. And that crit sticky like a combo and like 2 other people. That was beautiful. Really, really nice. So I'm going to leave you with that. Hopefully I haven't just moaned for an hour, but I suspect when I watch the video back, that's exactly what would have happened. Of course I'm not going to watch the video back because I am like a normal person and I hate my own voice. So this is Betty signing off, and if you ever feel bad about yourself, I will post a demo of myself so you can look at it and laugh and realise that sometimes I play like I'm beyond help, really. And you're not beyond help, you've got a few little mistakes that if you iron out of your game, you could be a really good demo. And it would really help your team go forward, is what I think. So that'll be Betty signing out.